Chris, let's start with the good news. Nick Robertson just signed a new 2-year deal with the club.
Yeah, I'm really pleased about that. Nick's been one of our most improved players this year from all reports. I mean, I obviously haven't watched him play the previous 2 years, but everybody that's been around the club for a while says that Nick's improved a lot. He's been an important part of our team. He can play a variety of roles. In terms of our trademark as a playing group, he leads the way in many ways, and so really good that he's agreed to continue.
Well, why has he improved so much this year, do you think?
He's a dedicated young man. I think probably he's found his niche at halfback. They're probably the two main reasons, I think, Michael.
What do you like most about him, Chris?
His determination, and his work ethic.
Go to Gold Coast this weekend. They've obviously had a big week, change of coach and whatnot. Do you think that will impact how they play tomorrow?
I'm not sure. I'm not really worried about it. I mean, our focus has been on how we're playing, and that's been the case for us pretty much all year, but especially since the bye. And, this week, that's Gold Coast's issue. We just got to make sure that we turn up in the right frame of mind to play as well as we can.
Have you revisited that first match at all? Because your intensity around the ball in that first quarter probably got your season going really well. And
yeah, you always look back a little bit, but not too much. The team that we're putting out tomorrow is a way different team to the one that played in round one, and so's theirs. So it's a new contest. But you know, every team every week's trying to win the pressure battle and the hunt battle. So that'll be no different tomorrow night.
Just on retention, Chris, any news on Rocky who's moving forward with that?
No, not at all. I'm not really involved in the re-signing of players and stuff like that as coach. I leave that to David Noble and Dom Ambrogio, our list manager, and they just keep me informed. They haven't given me any updates at all this week, so I imagine the situation's the same as it's been for a while.
This might be a big question then. Young Charlie Cameron, the drums are sort of beating that he wants to come to Brisbane. Is he a player you'd be interested in?
Oh, he's a good player. Not sure that he's coming to Brisbane, but obviously a good player at Adelaide. We like the idea of bringing quality players to our club, and we'll just see what happens down the track.
Obviously, you done with the wooden spoon, beat these guys. Makes that quest a bit easier.
Yeah, well, we've got 3 games to try and get ourselves into a position where we don't win that wooden spoon, and that's been our focus for all the second part of the year. We've made ground on those teams just above us, and our destiny's in our own hands to some degree, although if a few of those teams win, that might make it difficult for us as well. But we're just trying to handle the things that we can control, and you know, tomorrow night's another important step in that process.
It seems like there's a consensus that things are definitely going pretty well here. So you don't have a hiccup. And the other day, you know, the skipper was saying that this is very important to finish off this season for the young blokes to take momentum next year. What are you looking at? Yeah,
we want to finish off strongly. If we don't win tomorrow night, though, it's not the be-all and end-all. Our future doesn't hang on tomorrow night. Our future hangs on a lot of things that we need to do well over the course of time, and the bottom line is, regardless of what happens now, we've made significant improvements in the second half of the year, but our goal is to continue that and finish it off, obviously. And you know, I detect that that's what the players want to do, and that's the most important thing.
That sounds interesting. Like it's driven from themselves. That must be a good sign for you.
Yeah, most of what we've done this year has been very player driven. We've tried to make our club one of those types of clubs. We think that's the way forward. That's the way you develop leadership. It's the way you develop commitment. And our leadership group and all of our players have bought in really well to what we're trying to do at the club.
How were the players this week, Chris? Were they sort of frustrated they let another winnable game sort of slip last weekend against the Dogs?
No, they weren't. They understood completely that it was our own fault that we lost that game, and so we learn the lessons and we move on.
It seems like at this time of year you expect the young guys to get tired, but last week you were down big at quarter time. It almost looked like they generated the enthusiasm to inspire a comeback.
Yeah, we were disappointed with our first quarter, and the players were in particular, so they responded well after quarter time to that. funnily enough, though, probably at the end of the day, the first quarter effort was the reason why we lost the game. You know, we were, I think, 28 points down and lost by 14. So disappointing about that, encouraging them that we're able to find something and finish off strongly.
As a representative and stakeholder in the game in Queensland AFL, and what's happened down the road, you've heard the Gold Coast, everyone's being blamed for what's going on there, including the AFL, to say it's been a disaster. What are your thoughts on some of the commentary that's going on around them?
Oh, I haven't really concerned myself with that. As I said before, Gold Coast issues are Gold Coast issues. We've got enough on our plate here as a club trying to improve and gain respect within the competition. So we've focused on that. But you know, it'll be good down the track if both teams can become strong. There's no doubt about that for Queensland footy. There's a lot of interest in AFL up here, and the better both teams can become, the better it is for footy up here and footy in general.
And AFL can help that cause? You knock it on their door to try and get some assistance to help them?
No, I think, you know, we've got to help ourselves. We can't rely on handouts. It's really us internally to improve and grow as a club, and hopefully, you know, as time goes by, the AFL, you know, won't feel the need, and we won't feel the need to ask for their help.
No Shaki again. You've omitted him this week.
Yeah.
I guess what has he got to do to cement a more regular spot?
Oh well, you know, he's played a couple of good games since he's been back, and a couple of quieter ones. And in those quieter games, he probably hasn't been as competitive as we would have liked in the aerial contests. And he's aware of that, and he understands fully what he needs to do. We must remember though, like he's like a lot of our other young key forwards, their form's going to be up and down, and there's things that they need to learn about the game. And you know, if you look at the young tall forwards at every other club, it's a bit of a yo-yo for them. So, you know, we ask about Josh because he was the number 2 draft pick last year, but to me, he's just another young forward who's going through that learning process, and getting dropped sometimes is part of that process.
So Michael Close comes in. I know he's out of contract. You're trying to see what he can do, I guess, the last few weeks to assess whether he's...
Not really. Michael's come back in because on his performances he deserves to be selected. He's been really good in the NEAFL for a long time now. Was really unlucky to go out last week after the West Coast game, and deserves another opportunity.
Do you know Dean Solomon very well? How do you rate him?
I don't know Dean at all well. I just know him as a player. Obviously, I've been involved in AFL footy for 20 years, and he played a lot of that period of time. And he's as good a competitor as you'll ever see. So no doubt he'll have his team coming out tomorrow night competing hard.
You see that a bit too, don't you, Chris, when a new coach comes in and players lift?
Yeah, possibly. I don't know what the history is on all that sort of stuff. All I know is tomorrow night's a 50-50 game, regardless of whether Rocket's coaching them or someone else is. So that's what we've prepared for.